welcome to our blog. Thank you for watching our last blog. Thank you everybody that commented and everyone that gave some little thumbs up, and thank you to our new subscribers. That was really quite fab and lovely and surprising, really. But especially thank you for those that commented. Some really lovely comments, and it's really going to be fab to have you along on our journey, and also some really useful comments as well, so thank you all for those. So this blog, this new blog, is about battening out briny in preparation for the spray insulation that's going to be done between Christmas and New Year. Yeah. And so we've got a battener out, and we've been told that we should do that before we do the spray insulation because it's better that way.
It strengthens the battening.
Yeah.
So we've done a lot of research about the first sort of stages of the battening out and foam insulation. So we've prepared some of it.
So this video has a running commentary which gives you a little bit more detail as we go along. It talks a bit about the tools and the things that we use. I hope you enjoy it, and here it is. Okay, so we've come back to do some work on briny, and you can see that we've been before. We've put doors on there, that's temporary, but we've put them in place. That's Martin looking very proud. This is the top of the boat. This was the first few days of going. When we first came to see her, this is what she looked like. This was all the damage that had been done by the fire. This is her with kind of open boat surgery. So this is what the boatyard did. This was Stuart from the boatyard had taken that whole section off, and just so that he can replace it. And the bit that's going to come up in a minute, you'll see this incredibly new shiny bit of roof. That's the work that Stuart did from the boatyard. He did a really good job. It was incredibly good. He still got the hatch to do and things, so there's still quite a bit of work to do on it from them. But there's work we could do from the inside. So this is me measuring up the battens to go, to be doing the battenings so that we can put the ply on it eventually. And so I'm measuring all the tops, measuring the ceiling battens, the top above the gunnel.
That's a nice fire you've got going in the background, Jacqueline.
Yeah, you got that fire going, Martin, because I couldn't get it to work this time. Anyway, that's... So this is me showing you how health and safety in the boat place is paramount. So you use an upturned crate and you don't use your working boots because you've left them at home. Okay, so this is probably the most important part of that day. That was vegetarian sausage rolls. So this was 3 days later, and I'm going to kind of pass over to Martin because he will tell you all about Andy and what the work they did.
Say hello.
Hello.
Okay, so I went back to the boatyard with Andy, who's in the frame. Jacqueline was working and very busy. And the first thing we did was to remove the water tank from underneath the bow.
We turned it into a tank.
Put it on the roof, out the way. And that's it there.
And why do we do that? You took that out because it needs to be when we do the spray insulation.
Yeah, we're going to be spraying between Christmas and New Year, so it needs to be out of the way, and we need to be able to clean in that area. This is Mick, who's helping with the engine, and
so he works for the boatyard though, doesn't he?
He does, yeah. And he's left his hat behind because it stopped raining at this point. But he's fitting, getting the engine ready, and he's doing a good job of sorting it out. And
so he's just cleaned up the whole area around the engine.
Yeah,
it was full of yucky water, and he's cleaned it and he's painted it and things.
So the main job today was to do as much of the battening as we could. Jacqueline and the previous week we'd cut quite a lot of it up, ready, and here we are making a start. So we've got these special screws which screw into the wood and the metal at the same time. And
what are these screws called?
they're called wingtip something or other.
Are they called zinc-plated wing-tipped self-drilling screws?
They might be, yes. So with the ceiling ones, have been measured, and then they bend into place like that.
Okay. Yeah.
And then we screw them. Might be a bit harder than than we want it to be, but the wood's wet. So yeah, they're quite interesting, fascinating bit of ingenuity, really. It saves a lot of pre-drilling, and it even countersinks itself as well. Although we had a few problems.
So did we get the right size screws?
No, we didn't get the right size screws. So
we Uber countersunk.
We countersunk as well, but
okay.
yeah.
So this is the bit where you can actually hear the change, can't you?
Yeah, where it goes through the metal.
Yeah.
Basically, there's these wide wings that, as soon as it hits the metal, melt off, basically, which then it screws into the metal. So the wings drill the wood, and then they hit the metal and they come off.
Brilliant.
So,
oh wow!
So this is some of the battening, quite a bit of the roof done.
It's actually straighter than this, though, isn't it? But we've got a wide-angled lens on this camera.
Yes.
It's not Doctor Who.
No. And so then we had to do under the gunnel, and this is where we had a few sort of problems.
So the shape underneath the gunnel is really, the struts under the gunnel are really odd. There's a slight sort of kink in them that you'll see from some of the photos.
Yeah.
And this is how you got round it, which was brilliant.
Yeah, we wanted to keep the contour so that when we get the ply, the faced ply on, it would have a nice sort of contour. But it was proving interesting, let's say. But we managed to get some, as you can see here under the gunnel. We've got 4 on this side and I think 6 on the other, or 4 or 6.
So what you did was you took those battens and you scored them on the inside, away from the metal struts.
Yeah.
And you scored them so they would take the pressure of the bend.
Yeah.
And where did you come up with that idea?
Well, after trial and error of cutting on the outside near the metal, the bend was just splitting the wood, so that clearly wasn't working. But it seems that the stress was on the inside, where the bend is kind of the opposite to what you'd expect. But Andy's son pointed us in the right direction, so yeah.
And Andy's son's a joiner.
He's a joiner, and yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Brilliant. So what's happening here then, Martin?
So we're fastening battens to the side of the hull because there's not enough metal struts at this area, and we're using Sikaflex, or in our case Marine Flex, to glue the wood to the hull, and then using props to keep them in place until they dry.
And we're working over the engine bay.
Yeah, we're working over the engine bay.
Cool. And we're using the Marine Flex because it's
meant to be good
and flexible for any of the movement of the boat.
Yeah, that's right. Thank you for watching the video, and we hope you enjoyed it.
And if you did enjoy it, then please give us a like, a thumbs up, and let us know what you thought about it, and if you can give us any advice as well. We're always happy to get advice. And yeah, and so thank you, and
We hope you see you next time.
yeah, we'll see you soon.
Okay.
Bye bye.